Anyways, we want to start off with our little lesson of the verb portion of the Latin language is the verb formula, and in this little portion we are going to briefly describe a little bit more of what a stem is. A stem is the meat of the word that kind of has the meaning to it. How you would be able to find it is for instance, we're to take amo.
Yeah, so our example is amo, amare. You compare the principal parts, and you look at the letters that change. So the O and the RA and amare change. So is the stem. The principal parts are two supplied forms of a word. So you'll see it listed in the dictionary as either amo, amare, or maybe amo with like a 1 next to it. So this is just the word. And then if you see this, the 1 means it's first conjugation, so you can kind of figure out from here what letters to add and what to change, because in first declension it goes the stem and then the personal ending, unless you have any tenses, but not in the dictionary.
Well, our next portion of the formula is the flavor letter. Flavor letter is used to determine the conjugation. A conjugation is a verb family.
So, in our examples, we have two. We have amare again, and we have videre, which is 2C. So we take off the last two letters, and we look at this last one right here. As you can see, it is just an A, so it's in the first conjugation. Same thing here. Videre, you take off the last two letters, and then you look at the last one again. You get the A. A is in the second conjugation.
Alright, for our third piece of the information for our verb formula is the tense marker. A tense marker is basically something that kind of makes it present, future, or imperfect. The present has no tense marker, while the future imperfect has a kind of like a baby talk.
And it goes. In the future, bo bb, bb boo, and then your personal ending. In the imperfect, it's just ba all the way through. But as you can see, there's a little no. So when you're using imperfect, instead of putting an O at the end as you normally would with using a personal ending, and you'll see how that usually goes up there, it is an M. So it's like bomb. So our examples are, amabo is future, I will love. Amabom is imperfect, I used to love. So more on imperfect and future tenses. When the imperfect tense is for incomplete past action. Hint, the perfect tense is for complete past action. You will learn that in Latin too. The future tense is for future action, which you haven't done yet. Some ways you can translate this, and there are more ways, and I could not list them all out and remember them, to be honest. But a few of the ways you could translate this is I used to X, and I X'd for the imperfect, and I will X, or I'm going to X for the future. That's it.
Piece of the information for our verb formula is the personal ending, and as you can see, there's 3 boxes. One is for the present, one's for the future, and one's for the imperfect. And well, you might be wondering why is it into a box and what does it mean? So in the 2 columns here, one is singular, which pretty much means there's one of whatever it is, and then plural is there's more than one.
Alright, down the sides we have person, so we have first, second, and third person. So using these, you can translate these. So in the first singular box, there's I, then you, then he, she, it. Third person is... Okay, stop right there.
Our next piece of information we got for you guys is the moods. So the indicative is pretty much indicating your actions. It uses the personal endings OST, mustis, und, which we talked about earlier. And for the example, ama, which is I love.
Amo, I love. So our next mood are the imperatives. So it means you must do the action, so whatever the verb is. Alright, so we have two cases here. We have ate, ete, in singular and plural. Note that it only uses the second person. So it's not going to translate as we praise. It always translates as you praise. Lauda, you praise. Laudate, y'all praise. Like, do it, praise. Our infinitive forms are the two forms of verbs. So we have two of those right now, are and ere. It just means to blank. So in this case, videre, to see.
So the next piece of information we got is about the irregular verbs. The one that we're pretty much going to go talking about more of is sum. For the present one, you got sum est est, sumus estis sunt. It's pretty much for the present one. For the imperfect one, we got eram, eros, erate, erot,
Eramus, eratus.
Erant.
And then for our future forms of sum, it goes ero, eriseret, eremus, eritus, erunt. So sum, all of these mean to be. I am, or I be, you be, you should be, so on and so forth. Possum is another form of this, which means to be able. And it's really easy to take this and make it possum. So to make all of your forms of sum able to do stuff, you add POS to forms that start with the letter S. So sum goes from sum to possum with two S's. And then another rule you follow is add the letters POT to forms that start with the letter E. So S goes to potes. And that goes through all of the tenses. So it'd be poteram, poteras, so on and so forth. The irregular verbs are very irregular, as you can see. So if you look here, it has sum, and then sumus, and then sunt, and then the rest are all S-based, and then it goes from that, and it swings over to era bits. And as you can see, this also has a weird kind of form of tense. So if we take eram, we have our personal ending for I, our tense marker. As you notice, it's not ba. The reason it isn't is ba. That's kind of weird to say. So they just dropped the B. So we have our tense marker, and then we have our stem. And it's the same thing over here. So if we take eris, we have our personal ending for you, our tense marker, and our stem of air. And it follows this all the way through. So our regular verbs are kind of regular, but they're also very irregular in how they do stuff.
This is our word order section, or aka the grammar section of our video. You can see the difference between, but I'm going to pretty much focus on the Latin portion of it. Latin, it doesn't really matter what order you put it in. There's like no, you have to follow this one or it's not going to make sense or whatever. But the one disclaimer to that is you have to pay attention to the conjugation and the declension of it all. And,
Okay, so video te makes as much sense as te video, so long you know how to so long you pay attention to the conjugations and declensions of the words. So video, if you look at it, is just wide, which is to see, and then o, which is I. So you get I see, and then te is accusative for you, so I see you. That makes sense. It's pretty easy, and you can flip it all around and like stick te all the way above it.
Well, in the English, there is a word order. You have to have a subject, verb, which was pretty much what we talked about in this video, and the object. It's easy to get, but realizing whether or not a word is what it is supposed to be
So, our example is I will love Latin. I love will Latin does not make sense. There's a reason will is right next to the subject here. It's the tense. But if you switch it up, it all of a sudden doesn't make sense. So you have to pay attention to your, at the very least, subject, verb, object rule.
And I would like to thank you guys for watching our video. This is our talk about the verb portion of the language, the Latin language.
See you guys next semester.